Okay, so guys, this is a bit overdue, but here we go. I want to explain why I've closed the doors on the Rank and Rent Academy, which is our school community that I launched back in January, I believe it was. And we've literally had hundreds of people come through the academy. We've got over 100 people that are in the academy, and it's been an overall positive thing. But there's some things that I haven't liked. There's some things that have happened over and over again that are just not worth it. And I want to start this video, and I'm going to make this concise, but I want to remind you guys, if you don't remember, or if you weren't there, why I even started the Rank and Rent Academy. I started the Rank and Rent Academy, guys, because initially back, 3-4 years ago, I started with a free Facebook group. Because my goal was let me add free value such that free value that's so good that people can actually make money from it, okay? And by doing so, the thought process, and this actually worked, and it still works, is that by offering value that's so good that it's better than some people's paid stuff or a lot of people's paid stuff, and offering value that actually allows people to make money, contrary to what you may think, it actually helps people buy your product, buy your program, rather than, it detracts them. And so that was the whole purpose of the Facebook community, as I wanted to add value. And I wanted to have everything in one place where if I answered the question once, it would be, I wouldn't have to go answer it again and again, and kind of have everyone in one place. Well, the issue that I ran into, that group quickly grew over a couple of years without any promotion at all. Organically, it grew to 6.2 thousand members. And what happened is, over time, the quality of the group, the quality of the individuals that stayed in the group diminished. And so what would happen is most of the people that were serious about the business, that actually wanted to make money, that were investing in themselves, they, naturally kind of moved over and applied for and joined Digital Landlords. And what we were left with was a bunch of looky-loo, freeloader people that just wanted to just squeeze as much information from as many free, and these are all the same people that were part of 15 different groups, and it was just exhausting. And we weren't having a great turnout on the lives, and it was just a watered down group. And so I said, all right, well, and this is the thought process was, I'm going to create an academy, a school community where I can charge people a little bit of money, $49 a month. I think it was $50 when I started, to be fair. Some of you guys paid an extra $1. And the thought process was, by doing that, I'm going to weed out all the looky-loos, okay? All the freeloaders, and I'm just going to get people that are serious about paying for an education and learning. And the goal, obviously, my goal is not to keep you there forever. My goal is to get you into the experience to where you can have the most, you have the best chance of success, which is getting one-on-one mentorship from me and my team and getting access to my entire training, etc. And that is inside of Digital Landlords. That's where I can give you the most value. This was literally just a way to weed out all the looky-loos, okay? But what happened is something I really didn't anticipate, is that a lot of people got really confused, okay? I heard the question, dude, what's the difference between the Rank and Rent Academy and Digital Landlords? I heard that 100 plus times, okay? My team heard this, and to me it was obvious, because I was like, dude, the Rank and Rent Academy is literally just an introduction to digital real estate and a way for you to see if it's something you want to do. Digital Landlords, if you actually want to do it. But that wasn't, I guess, communicated well enough, and people were confused. And so what ended up happening is people that were interested in the business, they would go to the community, and they thought, and again, I'm taking credit here, or blame, that by paying $49 a month, they somehow would have access to enough information to create a life-changing business that could make tens of thousands of dollars per month and set them free and on their way to financial success, okay? And that was never the intention. The intention, yes, was to help give value, or to give value that would potentially allow you to get a deal. Like, it's good enough information that you could go get your first deal. But guys, for $49, you can't expect to have enough support and enough, you know, of me to go and create a business that can change your life. And so essentially what would happen is people would go into that community, pay the $49, and they're kind of like, well, this is all I got for $49. And that, like, well, I don't, and they would just kind of fall off. Right. And so basically it kind of backfired a bit to some extent, not with everybody, but with some people, because I feel like there's a lot of people that I could have helped that probably were ready to just be part of Digital Landlords from day one. And then they're like, well, I can, do this instead. And it's not even close to the same thing. So all this to say, guys, is that what ended up happening is I ended up getting the looky-loos. Not, of course, not all of you guys, but I still got a certain percentage of looky-loos, tire kickers, that were just willing to pay $49 a month. They'd come in, they'd watch all the content for a month, and then it's the same day. It's like, boom, they cancel. They're in for 1 month, and then they're in there just asking a bunch of, non-relevant questions, not willing to find their own answers, never going to actually start the business, just basically freeloaders. Okay, so it didn't really work the way I wanted it to. And so the good news is I created a bunch of really good content. I created some free courses, the step-by-step guide to getting your first deal. I never would have created, had I not created the Rank and Rent Academy. I had, we've done, I don't know how many live weekly calls with me. We've also done a bunch of sales school calls with Porter and Jason. We've also done, which by the way, Porter's doing over $17,000 a month. Jason's doing over, I think, $13,000 or $14,000 a month. We also have done, a ton of coaching calls with Mahmoud, who's doing over $65,000 a month. Last month he did $73,000. So we some really, really good stuff has come from this academy. But I've decided that I'm closing down the doors of the academy, and what I'm doing instead is I'm going to put my free content that I used to put into my Facebook group, and I used to put into this academy. I'm going to be focusing on putting that on YouTube. Okay. And it's not going to look the same, of course, because it's just videos and maybe some posts that you can do, but it's not going to have that community aspect. But I'm going to be putting my free value on YouTube so that people that are still interested in the model but don't quite know if they want to pursue it can go and watch my YouTube, and it's completely free, and there's no risk at all. The only thing you're risking is your time. And my goal and my commitment is to still give every single video that I put out, every single post, every single story, if I'm on Instagram, is to make it valuable for you to watch and not to waste your time and not to be like, oh, that was not worth it. That's still my goal. And then my goal is once you're ready to seriously make money, to change your life, to get into a vehicle that has legs, that has the ability to change your life and to make tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you can apply to work with me one-on-one in Digital Landlords. Okay. And it's also just a logistical and a simplicity thing where I just want to create the best possible service and experience I can for those people that have trusted me with their money and their time and their resources inside of Digital Landlords. And it's just the more things that you get, the harder it is to do. It's like you're splitting your time now between my free content and then my sort of paid but not really, my $50 a month, Rank and Rent Academy, which I want to over deliver big time on, and making sure people aren't confused, and then doing that and now it's like, nope, I'm going to be focusing on having the most incredible experience, program, mentorship, accountability on the internet inside of Digital Landlords, which, by the way, in the last week since just making these changes, it's already given me so much clarity, and I've been able to give such a better service to those people who've already paid me. And ironically, we've had that business has grown just in the week since we've stopped accepting enrollment. I'm already seeing an increase in growth in there, which is exactly why we did it in the first place. Okay. And so anyway, that's the reason, guys. And just so everybody knows, in the last, just for fun, just so you guys have some data here, in the last 7 days since I started making some changes, I renamed the group, and which, by the way, we're going to be bringing all of my digital landlords community into the school community, and we're going to do everything on school instead of what we're currently doing. That doesn't mean that people inside of this community that paid $49 a month are getting any access to anything with the digital landlords, but you are going to be intermingled with, if you decide to stay, you're going to be intermingled with the digital landlord students, because it's just going to, it's a simplicity thing, guys, simple scales. So we are bringing everyone in. But since doing this, since changing the group name and deciding to close enrollment, I've had 55 people, 55 try and sign up in the last 7 days. Let's, do the math, $49 times that's like $2,600 that I've just said no to. And the reason being is because it's, I don't want to work with 55 people at $49 a month where I can't really give them an experience. Yeah, it's $2,600. That's awesome. But I'd rather work with one person that I can really help, that I can really, assist in changing their life and changing their situation, because I've always been more about depth than width. And that is my new focus. So again, guys, I appreciate you. If you are a part of this community, if you choose to, I'm going to let you stay at the price point that you're at, but you are going to just have access to what you currently have access to and what you had access to when you joined. And you can have the benefit, the added bonus of having, this is something you didn't pay for, but you're going to get is access to the community of people who are doing big things. And so that's something that's a bonus. I will say that, and I want to remind you guys, I've already mentioned this hopefully by this point in the post. Once you leave, if you leave the community, the only way to get back in is by joining Digital Landlords. There's no more, whatever. No one else is entering the community at the $49 price point or getting access to like a light version. So again, if you guys want to stay, I'd love to have you, and we will continue to, you'll continue to have, access, not access to me, but exposure to a community of people who are really, really trying to better their lives and to change their lives and to become free. So with that said, guys, I appreciate you. This is why I've made the changes, and it has just been part of the evolution of creating an amazing program and helping people at the highest level, and also just me learning. And anyway, with that said, guys, let's go make some money.